All right, so we're back here at the World Cyber Games USA National Finals. I know we've said it a few times now.
A couple times.
But it's about to be map number 3, and we're actually going live. We're at least loading the map right now here between Sasquatch and TriMaster.
Yep.
So this is our third go-around of this.
It is.
I'm going to ask you the same question. You've seen how things kind of develop.
Yeah.
Especially in Sasquatch's eyes. I mean, we were looking at the last game, and TriMaster was laying it on thick.
Yeah, that might be an understatement. And that's kind of a TVZ thing, maybe not necessarily a TriMaster thing. You know, the Hellion Banshee opening is always going to be, you know, a popular strategy to use, and it's up to the Zerg player to find a way to combat against that to keep their economy alive. Which Sasquatch was able to better do in Game 1 versus Game 2. Of course, I'm talking about, like, of Game 3, if that makes any sense. Of course, this is our third regame of this, but the first time these guys met on this map,
it's almost like a best of 5.
Right, exactly. You know, Sasquatch showed really good play, really nice defense, and of course in the first regame, the next game, he went for the Roach push. And of course, TriMaster had a Banshee ready, and he was able to do that Hellion stuff. Killed a lot of drones, and he set himself up really nicely. Of course, unfortunately, that's when we had to do this regame. So we'll see what happens here.
Third time's a charm, hopefully.
Well, yeah, hopefully. You know, we'll see. I mean, when you're thinking about what strategies these guys are going to utilize, of course, they've met 2 times on this map already, so they know exactly what the other has done in each of these matches. So you kind of have to think, okay, not only what your initial plan is going to be, but what you think they're going to do, right, to react to it, if that makes any sense. The point is, how much these guys change it up as far as versus the initial 2 games we've seen on this map. Again, the theme has been Sasquatch and TriMaster, Game 1, both economic, both safe. Game 2, Sasquatch in for that Roach push. Game 3, who's the one who does that aggression?
So one of the things that that I realized that's different on this map, even though this is our third time now, is that the spawn points have changed.
Yeah.
Does that make a big of an impact on this map per se?
I don't think so, personally. Of course, we saw some chatter in the early game there referring to that. No, these guys are just having fun. This is like perfect symmetry on this map. If anything, it's like. That, yeah. If you feel more comfortable bumping the top right of your screen versus more comfortable bumping the top left, because obviously if you're playing in the top right, you're going to be bumping the bottom left a lot. So I mean, like, that's really the only element here. But yeah, perfect symmetry here. This shouldn't have too huge of an impact on this game as far as the positions are concerned. We see TriMaster going for that early command center. We already see a little bit of a deviation versus the initial 2 games. The gas was never stolen here from Sasquatch. Did he even send a drone? Let me go and look at that. Okay, he did send a drone, but he elected not to steal the gas. Saw his opponent's 1 gas, and he's perfectly content with that. Of course, spotting this natural expansion as well. So TriMaster going for the exact same build as he had the first 2 games of this map. Getting that refinery, getting that command center, then adding on the factory after the barracks. Going to be making some Hellions, and then going to go into Starport. Going to add a tech lab on the barracks. Going to make some Banshees. Very safe build, and of course you have a lot of ability to harass your opponent with this build. Of course, getting out the early Hellions. Oh, SCV taken out. Getting out the early Hellions to go after those drones, getting out the early Banshees, and it's up to the Zerg player to defend optimally against said aggression. Now, it's not necessarily... TriMaster won't necessarily do what I just said, but it's probably going to be what happens. And there's the starport. So yeah, it is going to be essentially the same thing. Adding on the second gas. So we'll have to see what Sasquatch does. And again, he's going for this Roach Horn. Oops, and he's going for 3 gases this time. Oh no, he has the drone count to do this. So no, just this is perfectly standard play. Adding on 3 gases, adding on the Roach Horn. Probably going to be defensive roaches, I would imagine. Which is a nice adjustment based on the initial 2 games. Already up to 32 averages to his opponent 22.
Especially what would happen in that second version.
Yeah, exactly. He went for a lot of investment in those roaches he attacked across the map. They didn't do much at all. So this time he's going to adjust based on what happened there. Going to make these roaches, going to pretty much exclusively use them to defend against the Hellions. And we see TriMaster actually incorporating a medevac this time instead of a Banshee as the first thing he makes. Doesn't have enough gas for Cloak. So he's going to do a Hellion drop inside his opponent's main base. There's a lot of darkness here, so Sasquatch has to make sure he has complete vision of his main so that TriMaster can't sneak in some Hellions. Like, it's probably going to be right here. Sasquatch needs to be able to gain vision of that. Hold that thought, though, TriMaster, there's no Spine Colors out here. Zergling's actually out here to defend. TriMaster sending the Hellions into his opponent's main base. Sasquatch a little bit off guard. Let's see how many drone kills he can get. Already running those drones away. TriMaster taking down some drones here, taking down 2, but Sasquatch doing a decent job taking down 2 Hellions already. Only 1 remains, trying to get another shot on those drones, but all the Hellions going to die. TriMaster isn't done, though. Still is going to have 4 Hellions on the field very soon and is going to have this medevac. He's been doing a good job hiding this. Oh, we see a Nidus. We see a Nidus here from Sasquatch. So he's going to try to be sneaky. Maybe put a Nidus here and send roaches into his opponent's main. We'll have to see how that works out. But TriMaster about to go for this Hellion drop. I don't think Sasquatch has any idea whatsoever. When is he going to be able to spot this? He does have some Queens at the back of his main base. The Hellion's being dropped exactly where he needs to go. And the Hellion's coming into the main base of Sasquatch. The drone's completely vulnerable to the Queens, trying to do the damage to the Hellions. The drones trying to run away. But again, so much... well, Sasquatch did a good job there.
Great defense.
That was
pick him back
defense. Up. I'm okay with that. Now, the TriMaster did not see the Nidus. He did see all those units on the field, though, from his opponent. So he can kind of start being a little bit worried. And now we see the Nidus is being filled up. I would expect the Nidus to pop right here. That would make the most sense. But look at this. TriMaster, he knows. He's scouting, and he sees the Nidus. He needs to pull all of his SCVs to try to deal with it, to at least bring the Banshees back. At the same time, we have some Roaches pressing up the front. Sasquatch making nothing but Roaches in production. Roach speed about to finish. +1 missile attacks about to finish as well. The Nidus isn't going to finish. Yes, it does finish. Where are the units? The units. There's only 2 Roaches inside, so he's not going to utilize that Nidus, and the Nidus does go down. But at the same time, Sasquatch marching into the natural expansion of his opponent with the Roaches, trying to end TriMaster right here, right now. TriMaster has a bunker on the high ground, has the Banshee overhead, needs to bring the Banshees down here to deal with the Roaches. Here comes a Cloak Banshee from across the map, very low in health, but again, the Roaches cannot shoot up. TriMaster needs to keep those SCVs alive. And oh my god, the Queen's actually being added on by Sasquatch, putting the Nidus in the front of his opponent's main base. The Queens are going to be used to deal with the Banshees. And Sasquatch investing so much into this aggression. He doesn't have speed on these Lings. That's important to note. Sasquatch going straight up into the main base of his opponent, or at least trying to. The Banshee is going to be instrumental in holding this off. But again, the Queens from Sasquatch should be able to target down those Banshees and deal with them. But Sasquatch trying to end his opponent right here, right now, really wants a berth into the winner's bracket finals. Up 71-54 in supply. TriMaster needs to repair this bunker, needs to keep it alive, and it does stay alive. Sasquatch now going to that mineral line, but there's a Marauder on the field from TriMaster trying to cut away. But here come all the Lings again. They don't have speed. But Sasquatch is in his opponent's main base with a Queen. That's when you know things are bad. Cloak Banshee overhead trying to get that damage done. And it looks like TriMaster should be able to eventually hold this off. Oh, no. And a pause. Okay, I think they're back. Maybe.
Let's go ahead and bring it back here. And so what we've seen.
Yeah.
Let's kind of just go ahead and dissect what was just going on here.
I am down. So TriMaster went for the Hellion stuff, right? We saw TriMaster lose about 8 Hellions in the beginning there, more or less. I think it was like 6 to 8. Sasquatch did a great job defending against the Hellion aggression. He did a great job. Behind that, Sasquatch had a nice little timing setup. Really cool timing. Built the Nidus, built lots of Roaches. However, he had Slowlings. I wonder if that was a part of it, because ideally you'd have speed. I mean, when you make that many Lings, you're going to want to have speed. He has the gas, 484 gas, 350 minerals. But he was able to get a distraction Nidus in the main base. TriMaster eventually saw it, started preparing with bunkers. But then what was really cool about that, Sasquatch put the Nidus at his opponent's natural expansion, which enabled the Queens to, obviously you can send the Queens through the Nidus, and all of a sudden, because, again, the main issue behind the Roach Ling plays is going to be the Banshee, right? Because Roaches and Lings, they don't shoot up. So how do you deal with the Banshee? Sasquatch adjusting by building the Nidus, bringing the Queens with him, And that's what he's going to use to deal with the Banshees. So great decision-making there. And, of course, the Queens have the ability to transfuse, which extends the life of your Roaches or the Queens. And Sasquatch was able to do a lot of damage there, had a lot of momentum, had everything he needed there. And TriMaster was definitely on the back foot. But I think we're going to jump to a commercial.
Yep, let's go ahead, and we'll be right back here from the WCG USA National Finals, live right here at New York Comic-Con. Brought to you by the Samsung Notebook Series 7. We'll be right back here in just a moment with more StarCraft.
All right, guys, here we are back into the game, right back into the action where we left off. We had a Queen in the main base from Sasquatch, some Lings trying to do some damage. TriMaster has that Banshee on the field, able to take care of that Queen. And again, that's the only anti-air that Sasquatch had, so how does he deal with this Banshee now? Sasquatch at this point should just exclusively be going for those SCVs, droning behind this. He's making a Spire, though, and TriMaster eventually going to hold off that push. Great play from TriMaster there. Some Lings coming through. This Knight is trying to close things out, but again, they don't have speed. So, oh my god, able to... I've never seen slow Lings surround a Hellion able to get that done. TriMaster needs to micro the Hellions a little bit better. Sasquatch now going to the main base with the Lings. Once again, they are slow and get no response to the Banshee overhead, but I don't know where the Banshee went. It's back here, taking down the Nidus. Good decision there from TriMaster, but Sasquatch trying to clean up some economy from his opponent while transitioning into his Spire and additional drones. Not going to be able to take down that engineering bay. I don't think. There goes the repair from the SCVs. So, TriMaster able to hold the push. Made it a little bit scary, but he's going to be able to transition now. Let's take tabs of things really quick. Income tab shows 34-29 in favor of Sasquatch. And, ooh, actually has some Lings knocking at that natural expansion. Going to have to lift that off and repair. This Queen is definitely going to die. So TriMaster should be repairing that orbital fairly soon. You don't want to let that burn down, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Going to re-land that as well and start mining. So 7 mutas are on the way from Sasquatch. So behind this, able to get some drones out, able to add on 8 additional mutas. And that has the potential to do quite a bit of damage here. 2 Marines in production here for TriMaster. Of course, Marines are going to be instrumental in dealing with the muta's harassment. Of course, ideally, you get some turrets. And now that I think about it, I think that's why he targeted down the engineering bay with the Lings. Once you get rid of that, your opponent doesn't have the ability to build missile turrets, which makes the potential damage done by the mutas extremely much higher. You have a much higher potential to do damage with the mutas if your opponent is unable to make any turrets. That being said, though, TriMaster has not begun any missile turrets, so he doesn't necessarily know. Now he knows. The Hellion dies at the watchtower. Let's see what he makes here. Are we going to see any missile turrets in the mineral lines? He has the money to do it. There, the SCV thought about it, maybe? Keep an eye on that. No, he's just going to rely exclusively on Marines. Stimming for those Marines, trying to take down the mutas. They're going to swing around to the natural expansion, and they're going to back away. TriMaster up in supply, though, 70 to 40. That's a pretty drastic lead. I think we had some Hellions try to sneak in and do some damage. And yes, the Cloaked Banshee actually doing a world of hurt to Sasquatch here, taking down drones everywhere. 44 workers killed to 28 in favor of TriMaster. And Sasquatch down to 17 harvesters to his opponent's 39. So Sasquatch moving his mutas across the map, and TriMaster taking advantage by sending in that Cloaked Banshees to do all the damage. And now TriMaster is so far ahead in that economy, 41 to 18. And we're in a position, we've seen this before, where Sasquatch, he has to get economic damage done with these mutas to get back into this game. And also, he has to worry about defending against that attack. But he doesn't have enough, so Sasquatch throwing down the GG. TriMaster is going to take the 2-1. He will advance on to the winner's bracket final to face his teammate QXC. So finally, TriMaster able to close out that series. Sasquatch going for that early aggression, going for the early Nidus play, the early Roaches, Slowlings, and Queens. It's creative, but it didn't end up working out. And TriMaster takes down the series 2-1.
Just looking throughout that whole game, I mean, it feels as if that first map and that second map were so long ago. But let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll bring on the winner here and get his take on what happened throughout that entire matchup. So stick around here, right here from the WCG USA National Finals, live right here at New York Comic Con, brought to you by the Samsung Notebook Series 7 Gamer. We'll be right back.